Hey, Hammies. Hello, Hammies. Good morning. Steve K1GMM. What we're going to do is I'm going to show you a microphone I'm using. And I've had it in my arsenal for many, many years. And I've been, we've been, the usual routine. We've been discussing microphones between, a small group of us. Dave M6ENS is looking for microphones. So he runs a Flex 3000. As you know, I run an Anon 200D and a Sun SDR2 DX, as well as a 7300, but I don't run that much anymore. I'm on the Sun most of the time. And what I'm going to show you is a particular mic I'm using. It's actually an instrument mic. It is used on vocals, but there's some properties of this microphone that I really, really like. And I'm on it right now. And this is a Voodoo/ESSB profile, kind of a hybrid with additional energy up in the lower treble region, upper mid-range, in the, approximately 1.6 to 3 kilohertz area. It's set up to run either in 3.6 or 4 kilohertz wide. And I'm going to show you what it sounds like completely flat. And then I'm going to bring the EQ in stages. In addition to that, I'm going to show you the spectrum analysis of the microphone using a spectrum analyzer. So this is going to be kind of interesting. And let me jump over to the other screen quick. I'm going to try to keep this as short and pithy as possible. Yeah, right. Yeah. It looks like the top of my head is cut off on the camera, but I don't care, because it ain't about what I look like, right? Thank goodness. So this is the microphone. This is an Audio Technica ATM25. Now, when I bought this, it was in, early 2000s probably. It's old, probably 20 years old. I used it on the kick drum, on the kit, and I also used it on the floor tom. And it's just very suited to my voice. Now, there's a particular characteristic of this microphone. This is a hypercardioid. So when you hear the word cardioid or hypercardioid, that refers to the pattern of the microphone. You have to be fairly close to it. And it is a dynamic. It is not fan powered. It's a dynamic mic. And it's designed for extremely high pressure, high sound pressure levels. That's what it's designed for. Hence, a lot of people use them on kick drums, floor toms, stuff like that. However, it's a dynamite vocal mic for my voice. I have a low voice, and it's very capable, and I like it better than the P220. I think I'm going to move over to this, and I may end up selling the P220. There is a caveat to this microphone, and that is there's no internal shock dampening, no internal dampening that I can tell. So if you're typing on the keyboard, stuff like that, it can be problematic. So if you look at it, let me jump back over to my camera. I have the mount disconnected from it. You can see the little tab sticking out right there where the knob goes, and the threaded coupler goes on to, like, let's say a mic stand or a boom or something like that. I took that off and I jammed it into a shock mount. And the other thing is that it's prone to popping. So, the letter P, like Papa, will cause problems sometimes. You'll hear that. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be modifying this. I'll probably use a set of nylons, and I'll make up a very small pop filter, which will mount right in front of the element. So it's small. I don't like these big ones. They don't have to be this big for a microphone like this. They can be like that big around. So The hypercardioid part of it is that you have to be right in front of it. You can't be off to the side. If you move off to the side, you can hear the high end kind of drop off. Sierra, 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 Sierra. Here, come back in. So it's very directional. And that's what the cardioid. A cardioid is great. Hypercardioid is even tighter. Now, when you're miking a bass drum, if you want more attack, you can point the element directly at where the beater strikes the head, right? And if you want more fullness and roundness in a kick drum, of course, this is like extremely general terms, right? You can kind of move the point the microphone away from the beater, where the beater makes contact to the head, and you'll reduce the amount of attack that the kick drum has. Well, it works the same with the voice. So that's what cardioid means. So this being a dynamic, I wouldn't call it an extremely hot mic for a dynamic, but it's capable of generating a tremendous amount of gain, like terrifying amount of gain. And I'm not talking very loud. I'm talking very, very soft. So let's get back over to the other page quick, and we'll take a look at the characteristics of the microphone. So if we jump down here, we go to specifications. Okay, you can see the frequency response is from 30 hertz to 15 kilohertz, which is plenty adequate for voice use. I'm going to open the gate a little bit. That's a little bit better. So gate was a little bit too tight. So looking at that, will it work for Voodoo, ESSB, general audio? Absolutely. Absolutely. So let's jump over to the other screen. We're going to get right into it. Let's go to, can't remember which one it was, the desktop right. No, let's use this one. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to take out all of the EQ. I'm going to leave the gate in and the compression just to keep it under control so I don't blow OBS up. And we're going to go flat. So let me remove all of that, and I'm going to remove the reverb as well. So I'll put the reverb in bypass. So reverb is now in bypass. There's no ambience applied. Aphex 204 is now out of line. .31 band EQ is now out of line. And I believe, so this is the microphone in its native state. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read a paragraph here. Let me see if I can find something. I should have prepared a little bit better, but I've been up since 3 o'clock this morning. It's now 6, and I'm still very foggy. Good grief. Okay, I'm going to read this, and I'm going to read the same thing as I bring other things in. So you can watch the spectrum analysis here, and this is completely flat, so you can see a tremendous amount of energy, just below 4 kilohertz. And a decent amount of energy, let's see, this is around 500 hertz, which is good. You can get some mid-range presence, and there tends to be a dip. Now, this is my voice around 1 kilohertz, right in here, right in this area. See that dip? And that's kind of important if you want to push Voodoo type audio ESSB, because that's a really rough area. 800 hertz, that's a very hollow sounding area. And you can see, actually, I have audio all the way down to 20 kilohertz, way down here, with a peak at about, with my voice, right around 63. Let's see, that would be roughly 100 hertz, somewhere in there. 60, 63 to 100 hertz. So even natively, it's grabbing audio way down there. And flat, it sounds actually surprisingly good. So let me read this quick. Features: ideal for kick drum, toms, and other highly dynamic instruments. Handles very high sound pressure levels at close range. Big, warm, low frequency response with excellent presence. That's true. Multi-level grill and rugged construction. Offers very full sound on close-up vocals and dialogue. And yes, it is a very full sounding microphone. Very nice, actually. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to kick the EQ in on the preamp. Test, test. Okay, the EQ is now in on the preamp. Now watch the spectrum analyzer and listen to the audio. You noticed it got better, in my opinion, got better. Still plenty of energy in the top end. A little tighter sounding, a little less hollow sounding, a little warmer in the bottom. Paragraph. Features: ideal for kick drum, toms, and other highly dynamic instruments. Handles very high sound pressure levels at close range. Big, warm, low frequency response with excellent presence. Multi-level grill and rugged construction. Offers very full sound on close-up vocals and dialogue. Okay, now we're going to bring in the 31 band EQ. Watch the spectrum. She's getting better. Features: ideal for kick drum, drums, toms, and other highly dynamic instruments. Handles very high sound pressure levels at close range. Big, warm, low frequency response with excellent presence. Multi-level grill and rugged construction. Offers very full sound on close-up vocals and dialogue. Now, as you can see, this sounds even better. And could you run with this? Absolutely. You could actually run with this. Very nice audio. Now for the magic, we're going to kick in the Aphex 204 oral exciter. Features: ideal for kick drum, toms, and other highly dynamic instruments. Handles very high sound pressure levels at close range. Big, warm, low frequency response with excellent presence. Multi-level grill and rugged construction. Offers very full sound on close-up vocals and dialogue. Now we're going to bring in the room ambience, just to give it sound like, just so it doesn't sound like I'm talking into a pillow. Okay, this is with the virtualizer engaged. Features: ideal for kick drum, toms, and other highly dynamic instruments. Handles very high sound pressure levels at close range. Big, warm, low frequency response with excellent presence. Multi-level grill and rugged construction. Offers very full sound on close-up vocals and dialogue. So as you can see, if you look at the spectrum here, tons of energy down around 60 hertz, going all the way down to probably 40 hertz, even 30 hertz. Hence your voodoo type audio. Good amount of energy in the 500 hertz range, which is right here, which is the beginning of the area that provides articulation. And I have it set to a pretty sharp pop at about 1.6K. You can see this pop up right here, right in here. See that? And then up here, it goes almost flat at times from like just above 2 kilohertz to 3.8 to 4 kilohertz. Plenty of energy up here. Now, the reason why I do that is because if there's QSB on the band, I can leave this profile alone and I can roll the bottom end off maintaining energy in the top, making my signal more better copyable. At a plus 10, 20, 30 over, this is a great profile. You can also, if you get into a situation where you need to pinch it because of QRM stations very close to the passband, let's say you're running 4 kilohertz wide, you can always bring that in to 3.6 and maybe tighten up a little bit so you're not getting into another QSO. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you Thetis. So I'll show you Thetis, what happens, where the energy is, and I pay very close attention to this in the TX filter window. So when I key it, you're going to see where the energy is, and I'll describe it. Here we go. Okay, test 1, 2, test 1, 2, testing 1, 2. This is K1 GMM transmitting into a dummy load. So as you can see, yes, it is very heavy all the way down to, oh gosh, I think I have this set from 20 hertz to 4 kilohertz. This is the transmit bandwidth that I'm on. This is 20 hertz to 4 kilohertz. And you can see the energy. What I want to see is I want to see plenty of energy in the top end for articulation. And I try to get this is from a Voodoo standpoint. That's why I call it a Voodoo hybrid. Most people do not run this much energy in the top end on Voodoo, and they should, in my opinion, because it's, you know, when the signal is an S9 on 80 meters, it may be a little bit tough to understand what they're saying. But if you want that Goliath bottom end, yeah, that's just my view. You guys can do what you want, but this is a powerful tool. So when you key up your radio, if you're on an SDR, and this is primarily related to SDR, although it does apply to any transceiver that you can run audio from, let's say 20 hertz to 4, 5, 6, 8 kilohertz. Could be a conventional superhet, modified superhet, same thing. But if you have a spectrum to look at, you can see where your energy is, how the radio is interpreting that. So I try to get my high-end energy up, I would say 75%. See that pop? That's probably 75, 80% of the low end. That's good. That's what I want to see. And too often I will see people with audio where there's no energy in the high end, which would be up here on the left side on lower sideband, and it's all in the bottom end, and it's way the heck up here, and their high end is way down here. I can't even listen to it, man. It's all mud. So there you go. That's it. I just wanted to show you the how I have the microphone set up and show you what it sounds like natively, which is actually really, really good. So enjoy your microphone hunting, and maybe you guys can use this as a reference, not for the individual microphone, but just how to look at it. When you get your microphone, run it. A quick note, let me jump over to, we'll shut Thetis down. This spectrum analyzer is called Spectral ESIM. Spectral ESIM. I will include a link in the description of this video, and it is a great tool to analyze the microphone. All right? And it will also help you analyze your processed audio. And I am, as you know, I am running a rack. I'm not on a DAW, but you can use this to work with a DAW as well. So you can use it to tailor your audio visually, but don't forget, you have to listen to it and you have to get an audio profile that you like. Once you move into the ASSB Voodoo audio realm, it's purely subjective. It is not communications grade audio. Okay, remember that. I know this is a hot button issue. We'll see you later. Have a super de-duper day, in the words of that turd Barney the dinosaur. I can't get it out of my mind because my daughter watched that for so long, it literally makes my skin crawl. Nobody's that happy all the time. I am. I'm just a happy guy. See you later.